In the heart of the African jungle, where the towering trees have stood for centuries, there's a world filled with unseen battles, ancient traditions, and primal power. The very ground beneath their feet trembles as giants move through the dense foliage, their massive forms moving silently, yet with the force of the wild. Among these creatures, one reigns supreme, the Silverback Gorilla. But even in the jungle, the rules of power are never set in stone. And when a new challenger emerges, everything changes. This is no ordinary fight. It's not a battle against predators or the harsh elements. This is a war for control, for dominance, for the throne of the jungle itself. It's a struggle between two silverbacks, two leaders, both determined to claim the title of king. One, a seasoned and powerful ruler, commands respect and loyalty from his troop. The other, a younger, stronger challenger, hungry for power and willing to do whatever it takes to seize control. In this war, only the strongest will survive, and only one can claim the ultimate prize: the throne of the jungle. It's a conflict that will tear apart alliances, shatter trust, and turn brothers into enemies. The peace that once reigned in this kingdom will be replaced by chaos, as the battle for supremacy consumes everything in its path. And when the jungle's laws are broken, the question remains: who will come out on top? Who will be left standing when the dust settles? The fight is only just beginning, and the jungle is about to witness its most brutal war yet. In the heart of the jungle, the gorilla troop lives under the leadership of a mighty silverback named Kivuli. He is a towering figure, a symbol of strength and authority. For years, Kivuli has ruled with wisdom and power, ensuring the safety and prosperity of his group. His broad chest and commanding presence are enough to make any challenger think twice. Under his rule, the troop has thrived, moving peacefully through the dense jungle, foraging for food and staying united. Kivuli's reign, however, isn't just about his physical strength. It's also about the respect he commands. He has established order, settling disputes among the younger males and ensuring the females are protected. His deep, rumbling roars echo through the jungle, a reminder to all that he is the one in charge. His bond with the troop is unbreakable, and for many, Kivuli's rule is unchallenged, until one day, that very rule is questioned. Among the younger males in the troop is Macaulay, a young and ambitious silverback. Strong and capable, Macaulay has been silently growing in power, observing Kivuli from the shadows. While Kivuli's wisdom is undeniable, Macaulay believes the time for the old ways has passed. The jungle has changed, and so too should its leader. Macaulay's growing strength has not gone unnoticed, and with it, his hunger for control begins to take root. At first, Macaulay stays quiet, following Kivuli's lead, but it's clear that he's beginning to resent the old ways. He starts to rally the younger males, whispering about a future where they don't have to live under Kivuli's shadow. Slowly, a division starts to form within the troop. Macaulay's followers are eager for change, believing they could do better under his rule. The tension grows, but Kivuli remains unaware of the brewing storm beneath his leadership. The air grows thick with anticipation. Whispers spread through the jungle, and Macaulay's defiance becomes undeniable. He challenges the very foundation of the troop, the foundation Kivuli has spent years building. The question now is not whether Kivuli can hold on to his throne, but whether the future of the troop belongs to the old or the new. The first crack in the peaceful rule of Kivuli comes on a moonlit night. The jungle is quiet, the only sound the rustling of leaves and the occasional call of distant creatures. The troop gathers around a clearing, as they always do, to rest for the night. But tonight, something is different. Macaulay steps forward, his body tense with purpose. His eyes lock with Kivuli's, and there's a heaviness in the air. Macaulay's followers, standing behind him, watch with bated breath as the tension builds. The older silverback, Kivuli, watches calmly, but his gaze is sharp. He knows this moment is coming. The time for silence and submission is over. Macaulay, once a loyal follower, now stands as a challenger. "Your time is over, Kivuli," Macaulay says, his voice firm but with an edge of anger. The words hang in the air, a challenge to the very foundation of Kivuli's reign. The younger males, those who've been secretly following Macaulay's whispers, cheer softly from behind him, their eyes burning with the hope of a new dawn. Kivuli doesn't flinch. He has led this troop for years, his wisdom earned through countless battles. But tonight, he faces the one battle he never imagined, a battle against the future itself. His eyes narrow, the weight of the challenge sinking in. The two silverbacks stand face to face, locked in a silent moment of understanding. It's not just about power anymore. It's about survival, pride, and the future of the troop. Without warning, the peace shatters. Kivuli lets out a deafening roar, his massive body charging at Macaulay. The force of the collision sends a shockwave through the jungle, the ground shaking under the weight of their struggle. The battle is fierce. Kivuli's years of experience give him an edge, his every movement calculated and deliberate. But Macaulay's youth and strength are undeniable. The younger silverback is quick, his strikes powerful and relentless. The two giants clash, each determined to prove they deserve to rule. For a moment, it seems like Kivuli might regain control. His strength and experience push Macaulay back. But Macaulay's determination is unyielding. He refuses to back down, and with a sudden, swift move, he forces Kivuli to the ground. The older silverback struggles, his age starting to show as the younger male gains the upper hand. The fight continues, brutal and exhausting. Macaulay is relentless, driven by the need to prove himself and take control. But Kivuli isn't finished yet. With a powerful roar, the older silverback surges back, landing a crushing blow to Macaulay's side. The jungle around them seems to hold its breath as the two battle for dominance. The fight rages on, neither willing to give up, both knowing that only one can walk away as the true leader of the troop. The future of the jungle itself hangs in the balance. The battle between Kivuli and Macaulay rages on, the ground beneath them shaking with each thunderous strike. The jungle is alive with the sounds of their brutal confrontation, roars echoing through the trees, the snapping of branches, and the heavy thud of their bodies crashing to the earth. Both silverbacks are relentless, their fury unmatched. But as the fight wears on, it becomes clear that the battle is not just about strength, it's about survival. Macaulay, young and full of energy, is starting to wear down the older Kivuli. The older silverback's movements, once smooth and powerful, begin to slow. His breaths are heavy, labored. He's showing signs of fatigue. But Kivuli isn't ready to give up yet. He summons all the power he has left, his roar shaking the very trees around them, and charges at Macaulay with one last burst of strength. For a moment, it seems like Kivuli might turn the tide. He lands a series of crushing blows, forcing Macaulay back. The younger silverback stumbles, his vision blurry, his muscles aching. But then something shifts. Macaulay, despite the pain, stands tall again. The fire in his eyes burns brighter than ever. This is his moment, his destiny, and he will not let it slip away. With a powerful roar of his own, Macaulay launches himself at Kivuli, his strength and fury overwhelming the older silverback. Each blow lands with a resounding crash, and the weight of his determination becomes too much for Kivuli to bear. With one final, earth-shaking strike, Macaulay forces Kivuli to the ground. Kivuli lies there, winded and defeated. His reign is over. The jungle falls silent. The battle is won, but the consequences are just beginning. Macaulay stands over the fallen Kivuli, panting heavily, his chest rising and falling with each breath. The other members of the troop watch from the sidelines, uncertain of what comes next. Macaulay's victory is complete, but the jungle knows that power is never truly stable. His gaze sweeps over the troop, meeting the eyes of his fellow males. Some are in awe, others in fear. They know what comes next, the rise of a new ruler, and the inevitable power struggle that follows. But just as Macaulay is about to assert his dominance and claim his place as the new leader, something unexpected happens. From the shadows of the jungle, another silverback emerges, young, strong, and eager for the throne. This is not the end. It's only the beginning of another war. The cycle of power continues, unbroken. The jungle is a kingdom where only the strongest survive, and even the mightiest can be toppled in the blink of an eye. What happens next is anyone's guess, but one thing is certain. The battle for supremacy will never end. Macaulay stands over Kavuli's defeated form, his chest rising and falling with each heavy breath. The older silverback lies motionless, his once mighty roar now replaced by labored gasps. The jungle around them seems to hold its breath, the silence deafening after the brutal battle. The victory is Macaulay's, but the cost of it hangs in the air. His body aches, his muscles trembling from the intensity of the fight. But despite the physical toll, he knows he has done what was necessary. He has claimed the throne. The troop watches in uneasy silence. The younger males, who once followed Macaulay's whispers, now look at him with a mixture of awe and uncertainty. The females, who had stayed on the sidelines, seem wary of the power shift. The jungle has always been a place of rules, where the silverback leads and the others follow. But now, that balance has been shattered. Macaulay steps forward, his eyes locked on the remaining members of the troop. He raises his head high, asserting his dominance. The jungle, once ruled by Kavuli, is now his kingdom. He lets out a triumphant roar, signaling to the others that a new era has begun. But in the depths of the jungle, something shifts. The silence is broken, not by Macaulay's victory cry, but by a deep rumbling sound, a sound that sends a chill through the troop. From the shadows, a new figure emerges, another silverback, younger, stronger, and just as determined to claim the throne as Macaulay once was. His muscles ripple beneath his dark fur, and his eyes burn with the same ambition that once fueled Macaulay's rise to power. The troop's eyes widen in shock. Another challenger has appeared. Macaulay's gaze hardens. He has just fought the battle of his life, but it seems that the jungle's thirst for power is unquenchable. The cycle of dominance, of struggle, never ends. The jungle always demands a king, and only the strongest will survive. This new silverback steps forward, his stance confident, his intent clear. There can only be one leader, and now it is Macaulay's turn to defend his crown. The air is thick with tension, the jungle holding its breath as the two silverbacks lock eyes. A new war begins, one that will be just as brutal, just as unforgiving. The battle for control is never truly over. In the jungle, power shifts like the seasons, unstoppable, unpredictable. Who will emerge victorious? Will Macaulay hold on to his throne, or will this new challenger rise to claim it? The fight has only just begun, and the jungle's fate hangs in the balance. In the wild, only the strongest can rule, and even the mightiest can fall. The cycle continues, and the jungle waits for the next battle to unfold. As the jungle holds its breath, Macaulay stands tall, his body still aching from the brutal battle with Kavuli. He looks out over the troop, his eyes scanning the faces of those who once followed the fallen silverback. His heart pounds in his chest, but he knows he's earned his place as their new leader. Yet, despite the victory, a gnawing feeling lingers within him. The jungle is never still for long. Power is fleeting, and the fight for dominance will never truly end. Macaulay's gaze shifts to the young challenger who has emerged from the shadows. This new silverback is strong and hungry, just as he once was. The cycle of power is relentless, and now it's Macaulay's turn to defend his throne. He knows that with every victory comes a new battle, and with each battle, the stakes grow higher. The jungle demands a leader, but it also demands that leader's strength, time, and time again. As the jungle settles back into a tense calm, Macaulay looks around at the troop. His troop. They are his responsibility now. But deep down, he wonders if they will ever truly accept him as their rightful king. Will they remain loyal, or will others rise up against him? It's a question that will plague him until the end of his reign, and perhaps beyond. The jungle's power struggles are endless, and no one is ever truly safe. In the distance, the roar of another silverback echoes through the trees. It's a reminder that the jungle's cycle of power and survival is unbroken, but there's a deeper truth to be understood here. It's not just about strength or survival, it's about understanding that the jungle, with all its brutal laws, can change. Even the most powerful can be overthrown, and the strongest leader can be brought down by the weight of ambition. So, as the moon rises high above the jungle, Macaulay's thoughts turn inward. He has won this battle, but the war is never truly over. The jungle will always demand more. The jungle will always challenge him, and in the end, it will be his ability to adapt, to rise again after every battle, that will define him as the true king. What do you think? Was Macaulay right to challenge Kivuli? Should he hold on to the throne, or is it time for a new leader to rise? The jungle has its own rules, and they are as unforgiving as they are eternal. But the story of power, dominance, and survival will continue. If you want to learn more about the brutal realities of the animal kingdom, make sure to subscribe and join us for more incredible stories of nature's fiercest battles. The jungle never sleeps, and neither should you.